Hello, Team 704. The first YouTube video I've made in a minute. We're talking about a very important question, a question that perhaps you've never pondered before. You're going to need this paper from the sub. Okay, you're watching this on Friday, and I think you might know the question already. And the question, of course, is, how come bunnies don't take over the world? I repeat, how come bunnies do not take over the world? Okay, so we got to talk about two important ecology terms to start. So we are going to be writing these down. You're taking these notes with me. So the first thing is a limiting factor. And I want you to write this down here that I'm terribly underlining. A limiting factor is any factor or condition that limits the growth of a population. What is a factor? A factor is a thing. So anything or condition that limits the growth of a population. And I got some examples there. Okay, and you can think of some, but forest fires, too many predators, not enough food, abnormal weather. Maybe there's a drought. Maybe there's a flood. Maybe there's a natural disaster. Maybe there was a really cold winter and less of a consumer or a producer was bloomed in the spring. These are all limiting factors, things that limit populations. Take that note. You can, of course, pause me if you need me. All right, next slide. The other important term is carrying capacity. And I'm going to use limiting factor and carrying capacity a lot, so I really wanted to highlight these today. Carrying capacity, that is the maximum amount of individuals that an ecosystem can support. I guess I can use my hand on this screen to underline that. So if it's in bold, you'll write it down. And the example here is kind of a little bit of writing, but imagine, like I've talked about this in class before, how come there's not 7 million deer running around Alum Creek? Well, there's only so much food to go around. So the ecosystem can only support, I don't know, let's say 200 deer. So the number, carrying capacity is always going to be in a number. The number of organisms an ecosystem can support would be our carrying capacity. All right, you're done with notes for the day. Beautiful. Let's talk numbers here. Going back to our question, why don't bunnies take over the world? Well, here are the numbers, and it's pretty staggering. You ready for this? Let's go. Okay. So single female rabbit can have up to 14 babies per litter. So hypothetically, we're gonna say they're gonna have six a litter. So half of these are females, 6 total bunnies. Okay. So a rabbit can have babies in about 30 days. It can start having babies at about 6 months old. So one mother rabbit times 3 female babies times 12 months in a year, we're looking at 36 female rabbits after a year. So again, that's one little baby bunny. They're going to grow up, have 36 female rabbits at the end of a year. Okay, end of year 2, well, now the math starts getting crazy. We're looking at 1,369 total rabbits. By the end of year 3, we're looking at 50,000 rabbits. All right, we're going to keep going. End of year 4, okay, we're already up to 1.8 million. And we're going to keep going. By the end of year 5, we're at 69.2 million rabbits, and we're going to keep going. End of year 6, that's 2.5 billion. And end of year 7, we're at 95 billion female rabbits. Oh yeah, this is just female rabbits. So we're not counting the male rabbits. So again, we're assuming that half are female, half are male in a litter. I'm getting tired explaining this. We're looking at a total of 184 billion rabbits in 7 years. So I guess the question then becomes, how come there's not 184 billion rabbits running around ecosystems right now? And it's all going to have to do with limiting factors and carrying capacities. So based on what you know, and I just want you to think about this right now, you should be silently listening to this. How come we don't have an overpopulation issue with rabbits? Now, we might have it in some specific places, but how come there's not, at the end of 7 years, 184 billion rabbits running around? An ecological question. So here's what we're going to explore today, my friends. You have a gizmo to complete. Now, you're working here. I don't mind if you work with a partner, but you will be productive, okay? And I've made that note for the sub. Please be kind and respectful to our substitute teacher on this lovely Friday. This gizmo talks about carrying capacity and how rabbit populations change throughout the year. I know it's a gizmo, but I want you to do your best on it. It is lengthy. I want you to do your best on it. The goal is to work diligently to the end of class. The sub knows. I made a note. I said it's going to be homework unless the kids work diligently on it, and then it will not be homework. So please make sure you are doing what you need to do. In order to access the gizmo, you're going to go to MyOLSD. You are going to search in gizmo. It is up there by class. And again, do your best. We're talking about rabbit populations. How come they don't take over the world? Thank you for watching. 5-star, like, review, sub. I don't know how this works. Goodbye.